The bench press, one of the best lifts to exist out there. It is also one of the main power lifts of the powerlifting sport. So today I'm going to teach you how to bench press like a powerlifter, how to increase your bench press, how to optimize your bench press. Let's go. So I have divided the bench press into 4 different segments, that being setting up the bench press, setting up for the bench press, the descent, and the press. And then we'll talk about some advanced techniques and tips to increase your bench press. So let's get into it. First, setting up the bench press. So if you don't have a powerlifting rack, you can just skip over it and move on to the setup for the bench press. So for setting up the bench press, we need to have the optimum height of the rack and also take care of the safety rack, because if you get into trouble, you need to kind of dump the weight. So the rack height shouldn't be too high where you're kind of extending your arm way forward and trying to unrack it, which will later cause issues in the movement. And you don't want it to be too low where it is hard to set up. So the optimum height is when you can just extend your arm a little bit and it clears the rack. And for the safety rack, it shouldn't be too high where when you're bringing it down, it just hits the rack and breaks all your momentum, everything. And it shouldn't be too low where when you need to dump it, it just causes problems. So take 10 minutes of your time, set up the height of the rack, the safety rack, sit on the safety rack, punch the safety rack so that when you dump the weight on it, the safety rack doesn't go down. Now moving on to the setup. So the setup is like the most crucial part of the bench press. We need to set up properly to have an efficient bench press and also an effective one. So for the setup, the first step is to tighten your upper back. To tighten your upper back, what you need to do is just pull your scapula in, and that's it. Or maybe think of it like you're going for a chest bump with your friend. And there are 2 methods to tighten your upper back. One is while sitting down and then just tightening your upper back normally, puffing your chest up. Or the second one is to lay down on the rack, use the supports of the rack, and then tighten your back. Moving on from tightening the back, now to the grip width. Grip width could be wide grip. If you use wide grip, it will target more of the chest, and if you use a narrow grip, it will target more of the tricep. When it comes to strength, we need to play according to our strengths. So if you are mainly a tricep dominant lifter, you need to take a little bit narrow grip so that you can use the best of your abilities. But if you are more of a chest dominant lifter, you need to take a wider grip so you can push harder. We are going to move on the arch. So when I tell people that you need to arch, what most of them will do is they'll just puff out their lower back and think that now I'm arched. But that is not how you do it. So to arch, you need to make sure that your bench is grippy, the floor that you're pushing from is grippy so that you don't slip away and lose that bit of tension. To arch, what you need to do is you need to plant your feet into the ground and then push your hips up and towards the barbell or up and towards the rack. What that'll do is that will give you a much better arch. It will also teach you how to use leg drive. Now what is leg drive? Leg drive is basically pushing from the legs to the bar. It comes with practice. It does not come on the first try. Maybe you'll get it on the first try, but I don't think it comes in the first try. So when it comes to leg drive, Learning how to arch will actually teach you how to use leg drive. After you have done the setup, now it's time to unrack. So most of the time what people will do is they'll just push the bar into the rack. Now what that does is that literally undoes some of the setup that we have done. It not like undoes 100% of the setup. You have to push the bar straight up. You don't have to push it into the rack and up. You just have to push the bar straight up, and then you'll pull it in. Since we have done the setup, we'll just pull it in. And now on to the descent. Now on the descent of the bar, we usually want to descend the bar to the upper two abs or just below our sternum. What that does is it does help us reduce the range of motion, and it ensures the best path for the barbell to go. And for the press, when it comes to the press, we have to push the ground and the barbell towards our face and up. You don't have to push the bar straight up. You can certainly do that if that helps you. But me personally, I think you should push the bar up towards your face and then up. I mean, not like first you push it up towards your face and then up. I mean, in a fluid motion together. And now for tips to increase your bench press. So the first tip to increase your bench press is to bench press at least 3 times a week. Maybe 4, you can go up to 5 or 6. But you have to bench press often to learn how to bench press, to increase your bench press. And the second tip is to kind of bulk up. Bulking up is the fastest way to increase your bench press, but it is also like I know most people don't want to bulk up for the competition or something like that, but you can bulk up for the competition and then lose the weight. And the third tip is to go till failure on your accessories. Take your accessories seriously. So when you have dumbbell press, take it to failure. Like don't push out on it. So that is the end of the video. Tell me how you like it. This is my first time doing a video like this. So if you like it, drop a like, tell me in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Peace.